live cast of Doom. We are sans Paul at the moment, but he'll be on, or he won't. Nurgle may or may not have claimed him for tonight's live cast, but we're still going strong. Right, Justin?
He's on the porcelain throne. Not the golden throne, the porcelain throne.
Hopefully it is also made of skulls. It seems like a possibility.
Well, let's knock out shout-outs while we wait, then, because there's a couple people that already did.
Let's do it.
We got Bill Castillo. What up, man? Ed Black. Gabriel something. B something. I can't read, guys.
Bloat.
Yep. Tony Gates, thank you for coming in. Dan Yen. Evan, you my boy. Why does it move when I'm doing this? Lou B in the house again. Who else? Did I miss anybody? Steve Bewley. There he is. I know I saw it.
Did you shout out Andrew? Because he's shouting you out.
Just now. Like he just popped in on my scrolly wheel of doom. What up, man?
Scrolly wheel.
What up, guys?
No, I think Justin's right. There's going to be some real strength in the new Marine decks. If we can get a Decurion style thing that you can get free transports, it's like you're paying for your tactical squads just in transports.
You know, sometimes people think that I don't know what I'm talking about, but more often than not, more often than not, I might be right on. Yeah, dude, free transports, potentially free upgrades for the transports, because it didn't really say. But think about the benefits of that. You know, we're jumping back into that AdMech philosophy where you're just getting free points. Doesn't suck in any means.
Does not suck. Every formation, if you think about it, is free points. It's because it's giving you a benefit for free. You don't pay an extra 50 points to take a certain kind of detachment. You pay the cost for the units, and you just have them in the right order, and then zing. It's like synergy. That's a great buzzword for that, right? Right, man? You're in business classes. You tell me.
You're stealing my word, man. Synergy. That's my jam. Look who's here.
Rescue from Nurgle's land.
No, it's one of those things, man. You know, sometimes the internet's my friend, sometimes it's not.
Shout out to Kelly K. He just checked in, too. He's shouting blood for the blood god. Man, you play Slanesh, man. What's up?
Sometimes you got to give it up to Corn.
I do. Right there. Right there.
Nice.
What
did I miss? Did I miss anything? I don't know if I did or not.
Shenanigans. No. You missed some shenanigans.
Somebody was saying how they feel Space Marines is going to be strong, like I said. Oh, called it.
Okay, I want to point out that on the most recent podcast that I basically detailed exactly what the scout formation is going to be. And the 10 of you that were on the show, whatever, like, you know what, Paul? I don't think that's right.
I don't
think that's going to be the case.
Matter of fact, I don't remember hearing the word scout come out of your mouth.
I do. I do remember scout.
You cannot doubt. Now, Chris, I know you're in my court.
Yep.
All right.
That's right.
All right, but you cannot doubt. That's right. When I lay out the predictions, get pen and your paper, you can take it to the bank. All right.
Got the
first off,
CEO powers.
I may or may not have been dealing with a primer bottle explosion in my hand, and I might have missed that section.
Yeah. That was,
man. Okay. Now, I want to point out something. It said we've been talking about free war gear over the last few weeks, right? And people have been a little, let's just say, animated about it. Marines get this formation, basically the Marine Curion, Emperor Curion, and everyone's like, yeah, you know what? They're like, yeah, maybe it's fine. Maybe free war gear is all right.
Yeah, they're going to change minds. They're going to change minds. They're going to change it with the Space Marine Codex, because if Space Marines do it, everybody else doing it for some reason seems more normal, right?
Yeah, I agree with you, and I'm fine with that. And I do think, though, that when you get these two, was it demi companies is what they're called? When you put them together, now this is just me. I'm not predicting. I'm just kind of maybe trying to inject some reason into all this. Is that I'm willing to bet that this free transport is going to be for people that can normally take a dedicated transport. Like, it might not be for the things that don't get one normally. So like Centurions, you might still have to purchase their drop pod because they probably can't take one as a dedicated transport.
I agree with you.
I think you're probably right about that.
Yep.
Hey, we've got a first-time listener popping in here, Dan Raymond. Welcome, man. Glad to have you here.
Good to see you. Yeah, thanks a lot for jumping in. But again, I don't know that to be true. And also, let me something up completely different. I want to put this out there right at the beginning of the show, is that Dicehead this week, if you order Marines stuff through them, that is this week starting June 8th, going to I guess June 12th to 13th of 2015, and you mention FTN, they will give an additional 5% off.
That's 5%.
They've already given you. That's their normal. I think through Dicehead is what. Yeah, it's a good discount, an extra 5% off just by mentioning FTN. I don't know if you call them, email them, type it into the thing, whatever. You're going to get 5% off your order. Support them. They're great friends of the show, and they're the half the folks putting on the ATC, which is an amazing tournament. That's might as well what the A stands for. Amazing tournament. Championship.
I'm all about that. I'm all about an extra 5% off. If only I had the first 75%.
Well, those of you that do out there, get there, order from those guys. They're awesome. The Marine stuff is going to be great. We already know that.
Oh yeah.
That's all. That's my plug. I wanted to make sure everybody knew about that.
Well, Ed Black here is talking about the Spear of Sicarius, like the tip of the spear formation or whatever, adding up all the points for that. Yeah, but I feel you about the drop pods, man. I think that the one drop pod that I've made is going to be the only one I made. I'm just going to make somebody else do the rest of them.
If you leave out the interior stuff, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't even look all that awesome. Like no one's going to pay that much. Just leave it out. It's so much better on your time versus like what you can do. Like figure out what's important to you. I would not even do that interior stuff. The exterior stuff is a bit of a pain.
I like to put in the starfish part, but not like the harnesses. Like the harnesses are a bit much.
I could see that. Yeah, gluenols are hard, but I don't even think like even putting that stuff in. And then always mag up the gun inside, because we don't know if this new formation is going to let you get free upgrades to those transports. Like we need to see it in print.
Hey man, I'm not forging my narrative unless there's harnesses in those drop pods, because otherwise it's just like a Coke can of Marines. Yeah. Shake it up and it lands, it opens and explodes all over.
It's only got 5 harnesses in there, so the other 5 guys just bounce around anyway.
No, they're probably giving like each other nice Space Marine man hugs, holding each other on the way down.
Yeah, I get it.
But it's easier for me to believe that than like the whole shaking the bottle thing.
I'm shaking it.
It's like an elevator. If you're coming down an elevator and you jump right before it hits, then everybody's fine.
It's just
space
only if they get like
Swift. That's all.
Don't do it. Don't do that to me. That's not forging my narrative.
Hey, Table Noob, yes, we are closer to a location. Yes, we definitely are. The next seasonal will be. Something will be announced before too much longer, and we're going to do our absolute best, and I mean this is not just like lip service, to dodge all the other events. So dodging the other events that people might want to attend, especially in the area, and finding a place before the end of the year that doesn't collide with a holiday is challenging. But I think that we're almost there. I had a very good conversation today that, there's really nothing to tell other than I had a very good conversation. But thank you very much for asking.
You're to hear first. It's next week.
I don't know about. And Dan Raymond says, "What about where's this Wolf Curian? Man, I think Company of the Great, the Wolf or whatever, is the closest thing. That's all you need.
Yeah, you don't even really need the Space Wolves Codex. Just get like Company of the Great Wolf. You're, a couple servitors and you're good.
That was a really strong standalone book. It's stronger with allies, but it really strong standalone.
Yeah. As far as like we're going to see some type of that kind of formation in every thick book. I think the pattern they're establishing is like the splinter factions. We're not going to see them, but for every major race, already established race that is, we're going to see something like that for them. And we're going to continue to see these Demon Kim books coming out. No, basically 0 new models, but awesome rules.
Well, Dan brings up a good point. He's talking about having a Guard Kyrian or Astra Millikyrian. Like, that has been basically what their codex has been without being called that for the last, 2-3 editions. The way that you build a platoon is so much like a Decurion is anyways.
Yeah.
Like, it would actually make it easier to organize your army without an app, because I mean, every guard list I build, I've had an app because I can't organize it.
The Imperial armor books are very similar to that stuff, especially the most recent ones we've seen.
When we talk about like the strength of allies and stuff in the Imperium, and I was sitting back kind of thinking like, well, okay, so they're doing ally heavy for a lot of armies. What armies are they not focusing on allies? Necrons. Got the Decurion, like a cool version of the Decurion. Orcs, they're not going to get a Decurion.
They're going
to get a Decurion, I should say.
Yeah, they don't ally. It's a progression of codices. Mm-hmm. So once they figure out that people will buy more miniatures based on these things, then we're going to see them. But just the pattern that we found is that there won't in the smaller races that they intend specifically to be an ally, then we're not seeing them. Like, I don't think we'll ever see a Tempestus Scion Decurion.
Yeah.
And we'll see a Harlequin Decurion. We are going to see Orcs, Necrons, Tyranids. Like, it's all.
Yeah, the dudes that normally don't ally with people. So you more eloquently jumped into my head, pulled my thoughts out, and made them.
Telling you, the ally thing doesn't have anything to do with it. I don't think it's just going to be all the major factions will see this. If it's a book that you would pay $60 for, I don't mean, that you want to pay $60. Like, if it's something they put out that they intend for someone to buy $60 for, then that you're going to see a Decurion. If it's a $33 book, no Decurion.
I can get behind that.
But Paul, we're paying for our rules here. Why are we paying for our rules? Isn't that contrary to what all of the new good gaming companies are doing?
Well, no, we're getting good books. They're looking strong. I'm just saying if it's like, hey, that's what the price is, go for it. But I don't want to talk about that too much. I'm just giving you an example of what will have a Decurion in the future, what will not have a Decurion in the future. I think Lou asked, is that a deal limited time? I think he's talking about the Dice Head thing. That is till the end of the week. That's what they said. Pre-order your Marines from Dice Head. Mention Forge Narrative. You get an extra 5% off. So that's nice. I was chatting with Shane about the ATC today, and was just like, hey, can I mention something on the show tonight? He said, do this. I'm like, yeah, sounds good to me.
There it is.
I will be ordering some Marines. But okay, let's get right into Marine talk. I mean, I know not everybody's a Marine player, but everybody, know thy enemy kind of thing. And when the Marines are good in 40K, it's just a happier place because everybody's got a handful of Marines. I was talking with my wife about this, within the last few days or so. I'm like, even people who don't actually play Marines probably own some Marines because they're waiting for that mythical moment when the successor chapter in their head is made possible by the rules. And they're going to just they're going to paint their behinds off as soon as those stars align and they get exactly what they want. So I think most people have that if they play 40K.
Well, I think last book was actually really close to that too. I mean, you had those diversity of the chapter tactics and stuff like that, and I think every aspect of how you can play the game was addressed in that book. I think with the chapter tactics.
There is Marines have not. I won't say they've always been that way, but they've been getting. I liked the rules in the 4th edition codex. That was the one where you had drop pods. You could take the double, all the traits. I think. Yeah,
you're talking about where you could build a chapter and it had kind of modified force work based on the type of chapter that you wanted and how codex it was.
Yeah, you could take an additional assault weapon in a 5-man unit or whatever if you took I forget what it was called, but it had traits, and that was really strong. The Marine books have all been pretty strong.
Mm-hmm.
And versatile. Yeah, it's a good word. But I think that that's not going to slow down, and it seems like it's getting even stronger, even for some of the chapters that didn't have a lot of power inherently by their rules before.
We got a couple more shout-outs to get to real quick, too, before we go too deep. Troy checked in. We got Anthony Odell. You guys can hit him up on Beer for the Beer God. He made a Facebook page, and they're trying out the podcasting thing and stuff. So give them a check out.
That's cool.
Let's see who else checked in while we were talking.
Yo, Evan S. Did we shout him out already?
Yes, we did. He my boy.
Late to the party. I'm ashamed.
Tabled North, or Tabled Noob, I mean. I can't read. See, I still can't read. It's okay.
You're saying he's Canadian.
Yeah.
That's not.
He's from
Canada. I was a little late today too, so no worries there.
Yeah. I think
Angelo, I don't know, Angelo, Andrew, or Coach.
Oh, Coach, yeah, I didn't see him.
Yeah. Okay. So with Marines, let's kind of. I want to start getting into a little bit of what we know already. I was not really excited about the Eviscerator until I discovered that you can essentially hide it in squads now. So the champion can still get his Power Fist. He can get various things, but now you can put one or two, depending on the size of the squad, of the Eviscerators in the squad. That has some innate power to it.
Now, how are you going to get them there? Are you going to use something else, or are you going to leave them with the jump packs? Because that's where I've been struggling.
I still don't think they're all that great. Yeah. They're only, even in this new Demi company, I still don't think you're going to take Assault Marines in. You're going to take the Land Speeder. You're going to take the Attack Bike or whatever. You're not going to take the Assault Marines.
Yeah, I probably would go Bikes, Speeder, Assault Marines, Assault Centurions, in a hierarchy of good things to take first.
That's probably pretty fair. It depends on the points. I mean, if I can get a Land Speeder for 50 points, then I'm obviously going to save some points there, in my opinion, to pick up some other things down the road. Like, for instance, if I'm able to get all these free drop pods and I want to get some additional drop pods, a small CAD or the Blood Angels or whatever, to drop in some Cult Mechanicus grabs. So I'm in your face with 2,600, 33,000 points in a 2,000 point game.
Yeah, but think about it. If you're taking a Land Speeder instead of a 5-man Assault Squad, they're 14 points a model before upgrades. That's 70 points for 5 wounds instead of 50 points for 2 hull points that a bolter can. Bolters would probably have an easier time taking out a Land Speeder than a 5-man Assault Squad, depending on what you do with them.
You might be right, and if you're playing in a heavy objective environment, then having those 5 wounds, I think, would be better.
But sometimes having that mobility might make up for that, because you've got your Land Speeder hanging out in the back. It's just one Land Speeder, nobody cares about it, and all of a sudden you need objective X on the other 24 inches away, and you just ship out and you get it. Boom.
Well, you got to think too. They are fast, and you can equip them with multi-melta heavy flamer. So that's. You're getting some play out of that.
Chris, that's a great point. I'm not sure. You may have convinced me to want to switch over to an Assault instead of a Land Speeder plan. I like having the long range with maybe the missiles still on the Land Speeder. That's kind of what I was thinking about maybe doing. But it depends on how it factors into the whole situation. But yeah, good point.
I think there's more than one right answer, depending on what your army is built to do.
And what you're going for, yeah.
Yeah. Tanya, good to see you. Thanks for bumping up our demographics in your space. I appreciate that.
+1.
But back to the Assault Squad, with the Eviscerators being hidden, that allows for things like if someone... There's all these codexes out there that have to challenge, like Chaos and the Company of the Great Wolf and that kind of stuff. You might be able to put a combat shield or a storm shield on your champion, so he endures while your Eviscerators are cleaning up, and that's something to kind of think about.
Oh man, I just wish the combat shield was better. I mean, the 6+ invulnerable save. It's like I'm paying points to be a Sister of Battle. It's no good. I mean, didn't it used to be 5+? There was a point where it was 5+, right? Am I wrong?
I believe it was 5+ at one point in time, yeah.
That is horrible. Even if you can give the company champion an option like 10 points, upgrade to a storm shield, just like everybody else in the squad.
Are you sure that's going to be the rule going forward, though? You think it's going to be 6+?
Maybe. I mean, the only other combat shield army that's come out so far is Blood Angels, and Blood Angels, it's a 6+ in their book.
No, there you go.
And it's a 7th edition army. Whereas if you're a Space Wolf, all of your characters can get runic armor, and so they get a 2+ and a 6+ for free because they have more artificer armor.
Lamont's asking, do we expect to see a FAQ that will address the Dark Angels to bring them in line? My prediction is that we will see a Dark Angels Codex 2 or 3 weeks after the Marine Codex, or after the Marines are done releasing their figures. I don't think that we're going to get a FAQ for them. We're going to get a complete brand new book. And to further that point, I think all the Marine supplements are going to get not, basically made illegal when the new Marine Codex hits. So Clan Rukon and the Sentinels of Terra could be gone.
Well, they haven't pulled them down yet, so that speaks good. Because was it the Iandan book or whatever that got pulled down as soon as the Eldar Codex went up for pre-order, it was gone, and those are still there. Last time I checked, at least.
I was right on the verge of buying that book too. I'm kind of glad I didn't.
No, the Iandan book.
Yeah, I like the Wraith stuff.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. I don't think anyone expected them to be pulled down. I would, if I were a buyer going to be getting those codexes, I would wait until the Marine Codex hits and see what's up, because I expect them to be basically invalidated.
Yeah, it looks like they're putting a little bit more effort into the chapter tactics. Like, we don't know what they are yet, but was it Raven Guard had like 3? They had the most. So.
Yeah, chapter tactics, they seem to have gotten a little bit better. I'm a big fan of the White Scars still, if it allows all these free transports to scout.
I think the only thing I remember reading somewhere was somebody said like the Land Raiders and stuff don't scout. All the fast stuff still scouts, but some of the more bulky things that were like, really, how is that Land Raider scouting?
I'd like my drop pods to scout. That would be great.
Well, I think it's going to be Rhinos and Razorbacks that can scout, plus any troops or whatever. Yeah. But so if you're getting, let's say, 6 to 8 free Rhinos or Razorbacks, then you're getting up there pretty close. I mean, think about a Razorback. Scout up 12, get out with your Devastator squad on your movement phase, fire with using the Doctrine to let you reroll misses.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a big alpha strike.
That could be good when you're and then you're moving up with melta guns and las cannons and heavy flamers maybe. I mean, I wouldn't rule out seeing more of that kind of stuff, but who's to say? I don't know what's gonna. I'm not trying to make a list right now, but that seems pretty strong to me.
I like Evan's prediction for the Nidkirian with the Pyrovores that have to deep strike and then take a strength 10 AP2 hit when they land, so they explode automatically. I think that's good. That's very playable. It's probably a hive mind just like picking those up and being like, what do I do with these? I'm just gonna chuck them at him.
Lou's coming back. Is it in the land speeder easier for First Blood? It is, but I'm thinking reserve. I'm thinking come in with kind of on a range with missiles. But again, I don't know what's going to be better. I do like Chris's idea too, for sure.
Well, I think that First Blood, more and more, the more the missions get updated for the different events that aren't the book missions, First Blood is really invalidated most of the time.
If you use the Forge,
it's a nice little point to get. But it's not going to win you the game most of the time. Not like the auto win.
Deciding games is boring. It really, really is. I understand that is sometimes what it will come down to, but like if you use the Forge Narrative Mission Pack, it is if First Blood is what decides your game, you have had an awesome game. You have not played a game where no one engaged each other. That's what it came down to, that, and you had an awesome game.
It's true. And those are the kind of games that we all want to play. I mean, if every game could be like that, that would be great. That's the ideal. But yeah, I think for the most part, I mean, getting that First Blood is going to be nice, but it's not going to be one of those things where you're like, all right, cool, this game is mine now.
But if you're playing that environment, that matters. You got to stick to that for sure.
Yeah,
you're playing
your environment, but yeah. I agree.
You guys are talking about 2-1 Terminators. I have not heard anything substantial about 2-1 Terminators.
I honestly...
I want it to be true.
I'm going to call it and say that they're going to stay the same points and still have the same stat lines.
They're not the same points. They'll be the same points if you want a Thunderhammer and Storm Shield, but they are 5 points. Terminators are 5 points cheaper on the whole.
Yeah, if you go Lightning Claws or if you go the shooty version.
But it costs 10 points now to get the Thunderhammer and Storm Shield.
Okay, I'd love to see that because I was hoping for that for my Blood Angel Terminators because how many of those Terminator formations did we get that were just like, but it's 40-point Terminators?
Yeah. Well, Terminators can cheap. They're not 45. The 33 points like I expected. They're 35 points. So.
The Grey Knight Terminators look like a steal in comparison because they start at about 33 points before you start.
Yeah.
And generate the psychic dice.
They generate the psychic dice. They've got
force weapon.
Force weapon.
That is the best Terminator in the game right now,
bar none. Just in terms of points cost per what it can do on the table.
And objective secured, so that's good. Lamont, I'm sorry I misunderstood your question. I still don't think we're going to see an FAQ that brings the Blood Angels in line. I think that they will continue to stagger Marine codexes to always keep some of them out of sync for no reason. I mean, I get that there's variation between the chapters, but that's something that they'll never do.
It makes me sad on the inside, but he's probably right. It's the way it's always been.
Yeah. Ed's asking, do you think Scions of Gilliman is going to be the same 3 one at a time, one use abilities, or something else?
Say that again?
Do you think the Ultramarines are still going to get the same doctrines that they get to pop, and then Marnius letting you do 2?
Yeah, I saw that somewhere. I can't pull it up on my phone. It's dead. I saw something about... Yeah, I know. It was where you get the double still, like with Marnius, but you don't have to have Marnius.
Marnius is awesome. What Marnius does now is he allows you to choose your Warlord trait. Like, you pick any Warlord trait you want from the Space Marine book. And supposedly there's one in there that gives you Feel No Pain.
Yeah, and that's
probably like your Warlord and his unit get Feel No Pain.
I would love to see Marnius on the table. I have never actually seen... I've never seen a painted Marnius in person, and I've never seen one used in a game, even as a proxy. I'd love to see...
My buddy plays Ultramarines, and we use him quite frequently.
He's good. He's expensive, so I think that's why he gets overlooked for like some of your like more competitive events, because you can sneak 2 things in there that can do more sometimes.
Well, him being able to choose when you fail your leadership was awesome. I don't know if that's still there or not, but that was an amazing, amazing ability. His ability to be a face puncher, also awesome.
Yeah, he had, special rules for days. He is really solid, and you get every point out of him 9 out of 10 times.
Again, this is all rumored. All Marines now get access to at least one doctrine, I believe. He does still allow you to do a doctrine twice. I don't know if it's all of them twice. So he's still strong. I don't know what his points are going to be. But it's going to be tough to compare him to Lysander. Lysander... and Marnius is the only Lord of War. Chapter Masters look like they're an upgrade for the Captain, and they're not going to be Lords of War. And the relics stay the same. So, number one, how does Gabriel Seth feel about this? I wish we could call him directly.
I can tell you how Gabriel Seth feels about it. It involves the revving of an Eviscerator that he got at discount. That now someone else found the store that he bought his at the price, and now everybody's getting them on their jump pack guys.
Oprah showed up.
Let me tell you, I'm channeling my inner Seth here. I'm very sad now, guys. I'm very sad that I am a Chapter Master Lord of War and any old guy with a Shield Eternal, and it could probably take an Eviscerator. Like, we don't even know if Eviscerator's on the melee weapon.
God, that'd be great.
Yeah, 3 Eviscerators in an assault squad.
Well, he'll find scrape off a couple blood drops and some buzzsaws, and you got yourself a ready-made model.
Yeah, Dean's saying that Calgar, Tigerius, and Sins were his heat for a long time. I think that's still going to be strong. He said until people start doing Drago and Pod Centurions, I think that's still going to be good. Like we have to expect they're going to give some awesome rules to Tigurius. Still, he is a paragon in 40K, and it would be hard pressed to think that they would do something terrible to his rules.
But their librarians supposedly got cheaper, and you get to upgrade them as normal still. So that's kind of cool, bringing their point scale down a little bit.
So I would play. Sorry, go ahead, Justin.
Well, so you can get Tigurius. Hopefully, his points stay the same. 165, I believe.
He's a steal for that price right now, but that's with his current rules.
And if he stays at that same price, and then you get another librarian for a little bit cheaper, and you can upgrade him, you're getting more psychic dice into something that generally you only had Tigurius and maybe Cortez or something.
Let's talk about the Marine Psychics for a second. They're supposedly getting a formation that allows a bunch of librarians to band together, and you can choose one librarian to know all the psychic powers that all the rest of the librarians can use.
Isn't that already the Dark Angels Librarius Conclave formation? I thought that sounds exactly like what that is.
The librarians in that formation are, I think the trick is that you get to buy them all. I didn't know that they all got to use or combine powers or whatever, but
yeah, you pick one guy and he manifests on a 3+, and he knows all the powers of everybody within
exactly the Marine formation. Then yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but yeah, I would love to see. I've got probably 12 librarians sitting around. I would love to have a formation that gave me an excuse to get a whole bunch of psychic dice on power armored Marines.
Yeah,
like if we could get a level 3.
Some Inquisition, and you start out on some Grey Knights for cheap, essentially. Hector, was it Rex? And you could form. You're going to be able to form some impressive Death Star still, which is nice. So, there's Rex right there.
Yep.
Okay.
Hail to the king, baby.
Pedro, Table New bringing this up. Pedro giving objective secured to Sternguard. Now, this has been questionable or whatever since Pedro's been around, but now officially giving objective secured to Sternguard is pretty strong, especially if we've heard there's been a favorable change to their special ammunition. Looks like you'll be able to use Bolter Drill. Now, I don't know if they'll get Bolter Drill because they're Crimson Fist, not Imperial Fist or whatever, but special ammunition might work for Bolter Drill.
Which
that would be pretty cool.
Imperial Fist a lot better.
Yeah, Imperial Fist are looking real tough. Like they were good in the last Codex, but they might even be better now.
Yeah, because I was always looking at taking Sternguard. I was like, Bolter Drill doesn't affect it because I don't use bolters on my Sternguard when I'm playing high score. So I was like, I can't see taking them. Except I wanted the poison and stuff for Demon Princes, Nids, etc., etc.
The ignore cover and it gets hot. That stuff is wounds on 2s. It's very strong.
Yeah, it's like a squad of Vindicares. That's kind of cool.
I totally dig those guys.
Yeah, if Bolter Drill affects those, then I'm taking.
I used to love running Pedro and Sternguard in a Land Raider Redeemer because getting up and close and personal. Yeah, that was real fun for me. In 4th, beginning of 5th, kind of thing.
Now you're gonna want to put him in what is that called? A Spartan. His Land Raiders just don't get you up the field like they used to.
That's unfortunately true. So we could talk about Marines for days. This book is going to be good. There's in no reality where it's going to be bad.
Oh, I saw a Land Raider formation, actually.
There's the Land Raider formation.
Yes, there is. I'm so pumped.
Are you sure? Are you sure you aren't just you didn't have a dream about a formation?
No, I saw it. I saw it. If it's not in there, I'm handwriting it in. I saw it.
I'll be right back.
That's legit.
Nobody talk about cats.
Show it to the Dio. Show it to the Dio. Hey, yo, I got this formation right here.
Yeah, it's
totally cool.
So what it does is you ignore everything that's not explosions, as long as all 3 of them are together within 6 inches.
That's so good. But if you have really densely populated terrain on the tables, that's going to be hard.
Yes, it's going to be hard, but ignore everything. No more weapon destroy, no more...
No, that would be great.
That's huge. No more immobilize.
For Land Raiders right now?
No, that's what it says.
If you could do that where it ignores like taking hull points off too,
no,
that would be awesome.
You do still take the hull points, but you don't have to worry about the immobilizes, the weapon destroys. If you explode, you explode, and then it goes away forever because you have to have all three.
Coach is talking about tank formations now. You're on the subject, man, and I think that some of these formations, like with the Vindicators or with the Stalkers or stuff, are going to slot in really well with this Demi Company formation.
Oh yeah.
I mean that is. I mean, when you think about you take the Hunter and I think it's 2 Stalkers, and if the Hunter hits, then the Stalkers get +1 BS or something like that. I mean, you're going to hit with everything.
Synergy. It's all about synergy.
And they're cheap. They're cheap right now. I can't imagine they're going to go up in points.
I love it, man. We're having to take everything. Like who took land speeders before? Not very many people played them. A couple Space Wolf players back in 5th did.
They were popular for a long time, and they fell out with things like First Blood came in and hull points and that kind of stuff.
But now that we potentially have to take them, you don't have to take them specifically, but they're
a choice. It's a viable choice.
There's a have to take like every single freaking model in the range to unlock more benefits and more bonuses. That's so awesome, man. Like we get every toy on the table.
Well, yeah, you're going to see neat looking tabletop displays. I mean, battles. You're going to see Marines are going to feel like Marines.
I love it. I can't like my inner fanboy is just like coming out.
One of the things that I know is not going to be the same. The command squad is most likely not going to be able to get all bikes for 35 points anymore.
Good. I say that, but I just I want to see more Marines than just White Scars at tournaments.
Well, you will. White Scars have the best rules, but they still get the best rules. When you're able to scout up with your 600 points of free transports, you're still going to see that.
Yeah, White Scars are going to stay solid. Ultramarines, I think we just
Ultramarines are strong.
I think we need to see more. I don't think that they're going to be like. What's the strongest thing out right now? I don't know. Decurion, right? It's not, but whatever. Play with my emotions right now. I don't think it's going to be on par with like that top level thing that's out right now, that big bad scary. But I think it's like right under it. With a good general, I think it'll be better.
Good general makes all the difference. You can have the best models in the world, but if you don't have the strategy to back it up or know how to use them.
Let's talk about that today.
Table Noob is saying that Landspeeder's spotting for the whirlwinds. He doesn't. It sounds neat, but you're right. It's not very strong. I think most of the time you don't. Marine ballistic skill and with hits being on the dice, you don't really scatter that much.
Yeah.
The odds of you scattering are very low. So you're right. The formation is neat. It sounds neat. It's very fluffy, but I don't see it playing in much. I think I'd much rather invest in a different formation.
I think the odds that whirlwinds will be taken are less than the chance that Marine dice won't scatter.
Yeah, the squad of the formation of whirlwinds doesn't suck. I think you're going to see more whirlwinds and thunderfire cannons than you do wyverns.
Oh, thunderfire! Yeah, there's one in there. Like you could take 3 of them. They get like 1 BS or something.
No, all the orc players just cried out in terror.
Yeah, a squadron of 3 thunderfire cannons. Are you kidding? That's huge.
Oh no! Nobody likes it. There's no army that likes that. There's no version of that is not horrible for everybody.
It is a little frustrating to play against massed barrage like that.
Yeah.
Like
Kelly
flood
K,
guns.
you're luck, dude. We're going to get formations of tanks and squads of tanks, and then these formations, they're inexpensive enough to really fit into whatever it is you want to do. And the neat thing about formations is you can take them, as a formation with another army. Like I'm going to take this whole army, and I'm going to take a little formation of whatever I'm missing. Like right now for 200 something, 200 points on the low end, you could have 3 stalkers and a hunter. And that is a lot of anti-air that fits directly into lots of other armies that may be weak on anti-air.
Yeah, and then if you're just looking to pay the tax to get those, like for an ally, you got your 60-point guy, librarian guy, and then a 55-point scout squad. Cheap.
Yeah, scouts may even go down in points.
Ooh, I hope
But
so.
Angelo, he's talking about Raven Guard getting some love. I would love to see that too. Heck, I would love to see Raven Guard at the top table because they've got some like cool spy stuff going on. Like they've got, I mean, they sound so killy when you read about them, but they're not.
Korax is awesome. Reading Korax, slipping around, and basically has the ability to go invisible. And
he basically removes himself from the mind of whoever's looking at him.
Sharo Khan is probably like in my top 3-4 favorite non-Primarch characters of the Horus Heresy.
Oh, Shuriken? The
guy
who beat Lucius?
Yeah, he beat Lucius like 3 times. I mean, that dude he put a bullet in Fulgrim's head.
Mm.
I mean, that dude, he has it all. He slices, he dices, he goes invisible, he bends light. I mean, the dude is amazing. And Raven Guard, you can't. The rules don't translate to being that awesome on the table because it's hard to do it because you're playing Assault Marines and they're not giving Assault Marines that crazy buffs.
Yeah, I mean, what would make Assault Marines better? Honestly,
18-inch move.
Being able to assault on turn 1 would be awesome. Being able to assault after they come down from reserves would be awesome.
You give them fleet so that they can re-roll their charge distance.
Being able to come in from any table edge, no matter what, would be good. I do agree with fleet would be good. Being able to always move 12 and maybe getting D3 added to their assault range would also be good.
Yeah, there's plenty of ways to make them cooler. It's just, it seems like they're not doing it. I know, Paul, you have, what, hundreds jump pack Marines
at
sitting
least
around?
120 jump pack Marines somewhere, yeah.
I've got, I don't have that many, but I've got plenty. I would love to be able to use them more.
Well, okay, here, even if you give them every weapon in the book, even with, they still are going to get killed before they reach combat. That's the problem. With 40, with Feel No Pain going down to a 5+, harder to get Feel No Pain on them. Even Stealth and Shroud can be circumvented by a lot of everything in his mother that ignores cover.
Yeah. It's not in the Marine books.
Anthony's saying that he's going to be at the series event this weekend. Will I be at? Yes, I'm going. I'm gonna go this weekend. I'll be there this Sunday playing at Gigabytes. That is also my good local store, run by a group of guys that are going to be assisting with any social tournament we do run here in Atlanta. I may run the Super Friends one more time, but they're going to be basically running the ATC missions. So I might play what I'm considering taking to the ATC this tournament. So I'm not sure, but we'll be there playing some games.
You bringing your bright new orange present?
No, I won't have that in my hand yet, unfortunately. But there will be some pictures of that as soon as it gets all done.
Now, Tanya, she's talking about being able to consolidate into another assault from an assault as being an ideal thing. She's right, but if they brought that back with Gene Stealers, I'm probably quitting the game.
Well, okay, just for Assault Marines.
Assault
Marines need something. They need something to make them functional, worth the investment, because they look cool. They're very Marine-y. I used to love just pushing them. I'd run a Sanguinary High Priest with 2 Lightning Claws and an Honor Guard full of jump hacks. The most horribly point inefficient unit, but it was fun to use. And with Blood Angels, I used to be able to get to do that, and now it's just they just sit on the shelf. It's unfortunate.
I mean,
they can't even get Vanguard right because they're afraid to let people charge in from reserves.
Either you two play that Space Marine video game that came out, the Ultramarine one, where
that was cool, very cool.
Being a jump pack Marine in that game was the coolest part of that game, bar none. Like, I got a Thunderhammer, I'm jumping up, I'm landing in the middle of a bunch of orcs, my landing is knocking them off their feet, I'm just wailing, and then anytime I get in trouble, I just immediately jump out. It's like, you get all the best of the Blood Angels and the hit and run and all of the, all-in-one experience, and Assault Marines just don't feel like that anymore on the table, and that's sad.
Yeah, I'd love to see him come back again. Things like consolidating another assault and maybe D3 on the charge would be awesome. Then you start to see more because they have tricks that we know work. We know the extra D3 works. That can be just bag breaking. That's why things like Ruststalkers work. That's why Demonettes are the best deal you can get for 9 points or whatever it is they are.
Well, think about Banshees. Think about Banshees. I mean, Banshees got a +3 to their run and to their charge range, and all of a sudden they're showing up on tables again. Again, not saying it's like the best thing to hit 40K since ever, but they're seeing use again because they are more usable.
Yeah, fair enough. And, and the game's never going to be balanced. It's not something, and it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be. There needs to be context for things. It's harder to maybe rationalize that context when you have to spend 10 hours painting something, 20 hours painting something, or whatever, It's harder to rationalize that context, in my opinion, for me anyway. But the game doesn't have to be balanced. But I think every figure should be usable and playable. Like the Eldar Codex.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to make any friends saying this, but the Eldar Codex is fun because everything in there has a place. Everything is usable. You can create a case for every single entry in that codex.
They all do what they need to do, and they do it well.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying that like you could randomly flip to a data slate in the Eldar Codex, and then we could chat about its function, and without being able to say, well, I really wouldn't take this most of the time. Like we could rationally discuss its use, and not every codex benefits from that.
I'll have to tell you that was my least favorite thing about listening to podcasts when new books would come out was the inevitable. This sucks, never take it. This sucks, never take it. Because if I think it's cool, I want to take it anyways, and I hate that guilt, man.
Yeah, Paul. Plasma cannons.
Yeah, I did. I gave Troop some mad shade because he showed, look at my list. I got all these plasma cannons. Like, what on earth are in my head? I'm like, can we cut these I looked at all my plasma cannons today. I was like, how can I turn these into grav cannons?
I'm keeping them. I'm bringing plasma back.
Just like, do your thing, Justin. Do your thing.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna beat somebody with it.
You will. I mean, I've played many a list where that many plasma cannons would wreck me. Like all the paladins that I used to run or whatever, I would have cringed going up against somebody. And there was a guy locally, his name was Thomas. He would run an inquisitorial squad with like 5 plasma cannon servitors in it. I never wanted to play against that.
Neither did any of the Deathwing players.
Evan S. is saying he would take 100 Assault Marines over Gene Stealers.
That's a bold statement coming from a Tyranid guy.
Coming from basically one of the Tyranid guys, that's for sure.
Wow.
It's that 4+ armor, or sorry, 3+ armor save.
Do they have rending, right? Gene Stealers.
Gene Stealers.
Yes, they do.
How many points are they?
Was there 16 or something? I think.
Oh, okay. So more than Demonettes.
Oh yeah, way more than Demonettes. Demonettes are the cheapest thing you can get with all their rules.
I hate them.
They're good to summon.
I've seen someone have some success using the Shield of Ball Gene Stealer formation from the Deathstorm box. Like if you use all the stuff in that, like it's like 3 data slates that combine into a formation. All of a sudden you've got free stealth and shrouding on your Gene Stealers when they're in ruins, and it's like if they're moving from ruin to ruin, which they can move through. They have the move through cover and the fleet and all that stuff. Like, unless you've got ignores cover. I mean, I shot a Fire Raptor at that squad, like the full 19 or so dice I could have shot at him, and I didn't inflict a single wound. They all saved.
That happens. There's just so much proliferation of ignore cover out there, though, right now. You play on Blood Angels, you don't have it.
I have the Auspex. That's just about it. I don't even have Thunderfire cannons.
My Dante doesn't care about your cover because he runs over and rips your face off.
Dante don't care about nothing.
Iron Priest don't care about your cover because the same thing.
Yeah. You can't cover your face, and that's what I'm aiming for.
That's right. That's all Dante. Just axe to the face. Claw to the face.
Yeah, Dante is the real deal Holyfield.
He is how he was meant to be. I will say this about the Blood Angels Codex. No matter what people say, good or bad about everything else, Dante is now as he should be.
Dude, 10 Sanguinary Guard, a Sanguinary Priest, and Dante. I'm telling you, they get work done.
Oh, I believe it.
They get work done.
Yeah, I think in how I would bring, I think all you need to do to bring the Blood Angels in line is to allow the veteran sergeants to become apothecaries.
Yeah.
And we need artificer armor on every sergeant. But if you could let sanguinary priest become veteran or be the veteran sergeants and upgrade, I don't care if it's a 25-point, 30-point upgrade, and then another 10 points for our artificer armor, then you got the army by itself is completely playable. You'll see them on in the top tables.
Yeah.
Evan brings up a good point. The Carnifex and the warrior units in that formation are horribly kitted out. There's no lion, but maybe it makes you feel better about your gene stealers.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like is the formations that make you kit out a certain way. Like you must take one plasma pistol, one power fist. Like I don't like those.
Well, the Death Company in that are kitted out the worst.
Oh, the Raffin's Death Company or whatever.
Yeah, there's like 5 dudes, and it's like 300 something points of 5 dudes. You're just like,
it's like 220. But
there kind of is some value to take that Dreadnought though, because it's still a troop, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that one is still good to take, and I've done that when I needed to fill like a Flesh Terror thing, and I had a Storm Raven that had an empty bay. That worked. I'm down with that.
Steve, I missed this earlier. Steve Booley, if you're still hanging out, man, working on his Angrath. That's a big model.
Yeah.
But it is awesome. I hope you saw that Blood Oath formation where you get to take like 1,000 Bloodthirsters. It's like Angrath's bodyguard or whatever.
Yeah, I was like trying to do the math in my head, and then I can't count. So
it's 6 million points.
Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness.
just make sure you put that big guy's toe right on the edge of that cover.
Yeah, he got to put his foot in the pothole, and then he'll.
Yeah, the first time I went up against Angrath, I was running a Grey Knight list, and I was like, oh, I got this.
For the last couple of minutes, what do you guys think about that Blood Oath book? It's only available through Warhammer World to purchase. Is a way I don't think it's available anywhere else right now. Do you think that's okay?
Yes.
I don't have a problem with it. The only problem I have is that I don't have enough money to make it over to England to buy all the cool stuff. I just know when they get a Blood Angel shirt in that Warhammer World store, I'm going to buy my ticket, and I may have to do some unsavory things to afford it, but I'll get over there and I'll get the exclusive Blood Angel coffee mug, even though I don't drink coffee.
Hey, you drink some out of it, so you can.
You can drink some.
I'm cool with them having exclusive things over there.
Yeah.
Like exclusive models, that kind of stuff. And to be perfectly realistic, those formations are almost complete vanity formations. Like they're everything outside of that Khorne one where you just take the 20 Berserkers and the Charybdis.
Oh yeah.
It's like 3,000 points. So nothing that anybody plays in standard games. The Khorne one is like 600 points. Without even breaking a sweat. So it's not. It fits in things. You can build something really cool with that because they charge the turn they come in. But that's kind of the thing. That Blood Oath thing is like everything charges the turn it comes in, which is kind of neat. Proves they're willing to do it. Need to see it on some assault formations or assault squads.
I like having exclusive content. I think that's cool. I think it's giving you a reason to go. I think that they need to kind of realize, though, that not everybody can afford to fly to England.
But that's what I'm saying, though, is that book is not for the average gamer. No one's going to averagely, accidentally play with that or run into it at your game store unless you're playing a 3,000-point game, which you should expect weird stuff anyway.
Well, here's my caveat. Give us a Warhammer World in good old America. Come on.
Fair enough.
Give us one here. Give us one there. Give one to Australia. Throw anything to Australia. Give them something.
All they give us is things that want to kill us and eat us. I can see why people want to stay away.
Australia's a cool place. Some of our coolest fans throw darts and live in Australia.
Yeah, that's true.
Man, the guys that live there.
You guys don't know if
you total awesome guys because they've stayed alive long enough to not have the place killed them. So, kudos to you guys for that. I'm super proud of you.
Obviously, the strongest people on the planet, right?
Yeah.
We only have a few minutes left. Anything else anybody want to go into before we get out of here? I mean, with the Marines coming up, we're going to be busy for weeks talking about stuff.
I want to talk about this
Armada.
A little bit.
Yeah, let's hit
this thing.
5 minutes of Armada. Hit us.
All right. So this thing is probably my favorite vehicle in Armada right now. I haven't even played it yet, but I love its rules because what this thing does is it takes these little poker things and it says, I'm going to stab you with them and then shoot you full of missiles. Because, I mean, it doesn't actually, I mean, you could ram somebody and hurt them, but that hurts anyways. But it's got so much short-range threat. You're rolling 3 or 4 black dice per arc.
Black dice are difficult to dodge. You can't use everything against them. They have better crits on them for the people.
Yeah, you can get a hit and a crit at on the same die roll with 1 black die, and that is awesome. Plus, they've got like the best anti-fighter for a vehicle of that class. They are a little bit squishy at 5 whole points, but I mean that basically, if you're looking for a ship to go next to your Star Destroyer, and you just pick that one because if they're trying to get out of the huge old front arc of your Star Destroyer, position this so that when they turn to get out of the way, they are all of a sudden right in the threat range of this nasty thing that it could destroy a ship in a single volley if you let it. It's so aggressive and in your face. I love it.
It can turn too. That's the best thing. It can actually turn.
It's as mobile as the Corvette. So like you can turn up to you can accelerate up to 3. You can turn. Like it's all the good things. All the good things. Right. I'm not
ashamed to say that I have not won a single game of Armada. I have lost every
I'm better at
Armada
Paul than
game
something.
Yeah, I have lost now, and half of those games are because my Star Destroyer flew right off the map.
No excuses.
One of the cool things in that new Wave 1 release too, when you get like the X-Wing, the little things, the squadrons, there's like A-Wing squadrons inside the expansion pack. It's like $15 too. So you get like A-Wings and B-Wings and like it's not just X-Wing it's not just X-Wings. And the same for like the TIE Fighter stuff when it comes out. There's other little formations that you can use, so that's pretty neat, man. I know that I was like supposed to be the X-Wing guy, but I've been digging in Armada and it's pretty bad.
You're talking about little fighters in Armada. It's the same, right?
I'll be playing a lot more Armada. Myself, and I've been playing, but it's like I'm not getting any better. I don't think yet. I gotta get serious with it.
It's all right, Paul. I will teach you the ways.
Hey, man, anything you can tell me, I'm all ears because I figured out how to move this ponderous Star Destroyer around, and I got really excited about the Gladiator or whatever you just showed. What is it called, Gladiator?
Yeah, it's called Gladiator. Gladiator class cruiser.
Yeah. Being able to actually move her a little bit, and then playing on the actual 3x6 maps. You guys should expect to see some pics of that coming soon. Going to be playing some full-scale Armada over here in the Beats Lab. So.
Sweet.
Guys, it's 11 o'clock.
I like it.
It's been a good hour. I really appreciate y'all hanging in there with me tonight. I want to give a special thanks to everyone that showed up. I know that during the summers it's difficult. Everyone's traveling and stuff. I had some great questions. Again, tune in to the podcast. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you have not already, please subscribe to us on iTunes. You guys have a good rest of y'all's night.
All right, take it easy, fellas.
Yo!